Hello friends, today we are going to learn about for loop and DoWhile loop. Also we will be covering a little bit about the differences between while, DoWhile and for loops. My name is Arun R.S. Chandran. In last session, we have learned about how to write a while loop and how to execute a statement multiple times using while loop. And in last session, we had moved our perspective to debug perspective. Now I'm switching it back to Java perspective by clicking into this icon in the right hand side. Now let me just walk you through the for loop. In the while loop, we first started with the condition checking and then we executed the body. Unlike this, a for loop works in a different manner. For loop have a syntax of for, and in round brackets, first it starts with an initialization. Here you have an initialization option, int I equal to 0, where we are initializing the value of the loop variable named I. Now I am checking I less than 5, which is I am checking the condition here, that is the second statement in the for loop is a condition checking. Then the third one, I will give an incrementer here. The loop variable I am incrementing at this position. And then opening the brace and closing the brace in between, my loop body will execute. Now let me just go with the system.out.println. On behalf of writing hello world, I am just giving a for loop execute, and let's print the loop variable I also in this. If I click on run, what's going to print on my screen is, it is going to print for loop execute, then a hyphen and then the loop variable. Now when I started, it was 0 and then it ran up to 4, and when it reached to 5, it exited. So that is how a for loop works and its syntax. If you want to see it in debugger mode, let me just debug it with this. Now you can see it came to the for loop and I is not in the watch. So let me just watch it. Let me just put this, yes, I is here in the watch. Let me just try to run it using F6. Now you can see the I less than 5, the condition is still true. This is the condition which is actually in the watch, which we have added earlier, and then the value of I is 0. And now the system.out.println is executed and first print statement came, and you can see it came back to here. That means still I's value is not changed, and if I click on F6, what happens is this executed this line and then this place, not line, this statement, it executed the I plus plus statement, that is the increment section in this for loop, and then it went to the condition. It will not go back to the initialization again. It went between, okay, it goes to the condition checking and it comes down to the body of execution, and then again if I press F6, you can see it goes up and down, means it is executing the condition and the increment, basically the increment and condition, and then it executes the body. So when a for loop starts, first in the first execution it initializes, then checking the condition, then executing the body, then it comes to the increment or decrement statement, then it go back to the condition checking, then body, again it continues the same flow, increment, decrement and increment or decrement, and the condition checking. 3, 2, 1. In case of for loop, first it comes to a initialization. Once it is initialized, it checks the second statement, which is a expression. That's a condition checking. Once the condition is true, it executes the body of that for loop. If the body of that for loop is completed, then it go back to the increment or decrement section. After executing the increment or decrement section, it moves to the condition checking statement again. Then it comes back to the body again, and then again it flows to the increment or decrement, then expression, till the expression returns a false. There also we are expecting a Boolean result. Once the result became, the expression condition checking became false, it exits the loop. Let's see, now our loop is going to miss the condition. If you check F6, you can see that I is right now 5. That means this condition is became false and that exit happened from that loop. Now the code ends. So this is what the loop using for loop, and we learned while loop. What was the while loop and difference between the while loop and a for loop? While loop didn't have a section which is for increment or decrement or for an initialization. You have to explicitly initialize, also you have to explicitly increment or decrement. While just provides you the condition checking and the body of the loop. Now let us try with another type of loop called DoWhile loop. Let me just comment this for loop, and I'm taking this into do and opening the braces and closing the braces. Unlike for loop and while loop, DoWhile loop have a while at the end of the do, and that while is actually checking the expression. So now at the end we are typing a while and giving I less than 5, whereas we don't have the I initialized as a variable. Let me just uncomment this or copy paste this here, and now this I equal to 0 starts here. Now what DoWhile loop is going to do for you is, DoWhile loop is going to execute this body first, then it is going to check the condition. That means even if the condition is false, even if the expression is false, at least once this loop will execute. Let me just type sysout DoWhile executes. Okay, and I need to give an increment here, I plus plus. Let's run it. Now you could see the result. DoWhile executes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times DoWhile executed and exit. Then what is the difference between this DoWhile and while and for loop? Why can't we have only one loop? There are different reasons. Say for example, irrespective of the condition, you want to execute your body at least once. In that case, you need to use DoWhile loop. Say for example, the I am initializing it as 6. That means it's sure that the condition is wrong. Still, if you run, it is going to print the output once. The DoWhile loop execute once, because the DoWhile loop do portion of that loop is executing irrespective of the condition once, and once the condition is false, it is exiting. It is the second time onwards, the second execution is actually, or the second time execution onwards is actually the while loop's expression is mean to be in action. So that's where the do while loop. So let us put a debugger also here, and let us add this condition to watch or to watch. Where's my watch? I don't see my watch. I think I need to do a debug. Just debug and do it to the watch. Yeah, I have added this watch. I am removing the previous watch here. And this I. Okay, now you can see it didn't check the condition first, it directly entered into the execution portion. Now go to I++. Now the i's value is changed to 7. Still, even the value is 6 or 7, it doesn't matter, it executed once and exit. Now if you change this value to I equal to 0, what happens? Yeah, now I have changed the value of I to 0. Now if you can see, the do while executes and i's value is increasing, and then it checks the condition. Let us minimize it so that we can see the watch. Now you can see the value of I is changing to 3, 4 and now 5. Still it executed up to 5 and then exit, and done. That's it for today. We have learned about while loop, for loop, syntaxes of writing a while loop, do while loop and a for loop. Now you know the differences between while loop and for loop. Now you know how to write a loop, how to execute a loop. Write your loops, execute, bring the output. Let us know that in the comment section. How did you run your program? If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe for upcoming videos. Thank you very much.